Well, hello, Internet. In this presentation, I'm going to teach you how to dramatically increase the traffic that comes to your website. And these are all time-effective ways that I use to drive a lot of traffic to websites. Most of my websites are ranked in the top 1%. Some are ranked in the top 0.2%. And I can show you here exactly how I did it if you follow these plans. And this all came about because Tracy asked for this presentation. Now, what doesn't work for me? I have heard a lot of people are able to generate a lot of traffic to websites using Facebook. Well, I drove my Facebook account up to 5,000 friends, not my personal one, but a business one, and I was only able to generate an increase of 3 to 4% in traffic each time I posted to Facebook. What I found is people go on Facebook to gossip, look at pictures, and play games, not for marketing. Also, people do not go on Facebook and then leave Facebook. People go on Facebook and sit there for hours, it seems. So they do not want to go and leave Facebook to look at your stuff. Hence the fact that Facebook has the worst click-through ratio of any website there is. People don't want to leave. I also received similar results using Facebook groups and Facebook fan pages. And in my opinion, all of the time it's going to take you to generate all of these friends in Facebook is not worth your time. I created over 4,500 followers on one Twitter account and received similar results to what I received with Facebook. Marketing on Twitter is like screaming, "Come look at my stuff," in a stadium full of thousands of people. I also found that the more that I posted on Twitter and Facebook, the less friends and followers I had. Why? Because they were sick of all of my posting, and because it started to look like marketing and advertising, which people don't want to look at. So from these two social networks, I do post to them. However, I do it in an automated way using a tool called Wordpress, which I talk a lot about and will provide links to throughout this presentation. The best ways I have found to drive traffic to my website is, first off, making sure the website is made with WordPress. Secondly, through YouTube. 70% of my traffic comes originally from people who have watched a video that I have done on YouTube, videos like this. And also I get a lot of traffic by posting in blog forums. And I don't mean blitzing them with tons of marketing and garbage and comments that don't have anything to do with the comments that are going on in the forum, but only commenting in ways that add to the experience of those people in the forum. And I'll get more into this in a bit. Why WordPress? First off, it's free. It's very easy to maintain. Communicates very, very well with search engines. Most people who are successful on the web use some form of WordPress. WordPress also makes you do a lot of the right things with your website, even if you don't know you're doing them. And it's very easy to automate a lot of the different tasks in WordPress. Why don't people go to your website? Well, I found that a lot of times web developers do not submit their clients' websites to search engines. Also, you must have a Sitemap.xml file, and I'm going to get more into these. I'm not going to briefly go over them. I'm going to explain them. You don't have content, or it's very hard to find your content. People also go to websites for information, not advertising and brochureware. And finally, you never update or go to your website yourself. If you want to know where to go to submit your website, here are the 3 top ways, being Google, followed by Bing, followed by Yahoo. You must submit your website to these 3 locations. You also should submit to the Yahoo Developer Network, as well as Google Analytics and Ask.com, but you can only submit to Ask.com by pinging them, and I have a video here that explains how to do that, and numerous other websites. Just go to the Yahoo directory and type search engines and hit search, and it will give you a list of every search engine. On top of that, WordPress will also notify all of these search engines every single time you make any changes to your website. So again, another reason to use WordPress. So what is a sitemap.xml file? What it does is it tells search engines that they are welcome to look at your website. It tells them what's most important on your site, how often you change your site, and what's great, again, is WordPress creates one of these for you, and I provided a link to another video that will explain how to do this. It's extremely easy. You just click a couple buttons and it's made. Also, your website might not have any text. This website on the right side of your screen is for a very popular restaurant in Pittsburgh where I live. It's called the Lamont Restaurant, and the entire website is images. All of the words you see there are not really words. They are images, words embedded in images. On top of that, they're stuck inside of a Flash player. making it almost impossible for a search engine to read anything you see here on the screen. This is probably the best example of what not to do with your website. What this does is it creates a roadblock between search engines and your text, and search engines care about text, not pictures. You must also provide information. You must spend at a bare minimum 10 minutes per day posting interesting content on your website. I'm not saying you have to spend any more than that, but if you want to get ranked in the top 1%, you need to spend at least 10 minutes. WordPress makes it extremely easy to use other people's content as well. Even though original content's the best, there is a very easy way to post other people's content in a legal way to your website using a tool that I'll go over here in a minute. There's also automated ways to post content to WordPress, such as the WP-O-Matic plugin, which I provide a link to a video on how to use that here on the screen. But you must ultimately understand that if you do not love your website, nobody else ever will either. You must also have a good domain name that is a keyword phrase people use when they want your info. Here are 3 examples: backside pain, preschool baby, limb prosthetic. Now, it would be better to have prosthetic limbs, but it was unavailable. But these are still very, very good domain names. Do not use your business name or some catchy phrase you've made up. You must use phrases that people actually search for. How do you do that? You can go to adwords.google.com/select/keyword tool external. This is a Google keyword tool. What you do is on the left side of the screen right here, if I was looking to create a website that it had something to do with knitting or sewing, I would type those different phrases in. Obviously, I'd type in a lot more than I typed here, and then hit Get Keyword Ideas. I would then look, this column right here has to do with competition. This has to do with traffic per month. Well, the competition's fairly low. I'd like to get one that's more like down in this area, but it's pretty low, and that traffic's really nice. So then what I do is I jump over to GoDaddy and see if sewing needlework is available, and guess what? Sewingneedlework.com is available. I'm just using this as an example, but this is a great way to get good domain names. And then what you want to do is continue using this tool to find out what your article should be about. And if you want to find even more information on what people are looking for, go check out Google Insight. Where do you get free content? Well, again, original timeless articles are the best, but if you need to get free content, free articles, here are a whole bunch of different places you can go to, or you could go to the Yahoo directory again and type in free articles, and you will get every website that provides free content that you can use on your website. You then want to use those keyword phrases in your title, your description, your content. You want to bold it, italicize it, put it in lists, put it in links, use it in incoming links if at all possible, coming from your friends' websites, and even give the keyword phrases to your images. Here is a tool called Press This. I provide a link to it here on the screen, but I'm briefly going to go over it. Basically what you do to use Press This, it's a WordPress tool that's built in, is you save a bookmark. You go to WordPress, you click on Tools, you right click on where it says Press This, and you save that to your bookmarks. There's an example of it over here. Then if you see an article that you like, you select it, go to Bookmarks, hit Press This in your bookmarks. This type of thing's going to pop up with the title and all the information in here. This link back makes this act that you're performing completely legal. You should type in some keyword phrases here, maybe click on a category that makes sense and hit publish. All of a sudden, that article is sent directly to your website. That's why I'm saying 10 minutes a day. Also, Google thinks your site is valuable if you have many incoming links. This means links from other websites. Here is an example of what is not a good incoming link. If you had a friend put Bob Smith Web Design on their website, this is terrible. Why? Because this isn't a good keyword phrase. The only way somebody's going to type this in is if they already know about Bob Smith's web design company. However, a good keyword phrase would be web designer site followed by create your own website. This is great. So you want to go to your friends and say, link to my website using this exact link. See, incoming links, very important. What you have to understand is if other people think your website is good and provide links to it using keyword phrases that are also good, Google will agree, but never, ever, ever link farm. This is whenever you get thousands of people together that just say, put links on your page and I'll put links on my page and so forth and so on. If it sounds unethical, don't do it. If you do participate in link farms, know that you will eventually get banned by Google, so don't do that. Also, if you want to automate the process of posting to all the different social networks every single time you create a new post on your website, you should definitely grab the Socialite plugin, and I provide a link to a video that goes more in depth into this, or the WPing FM plugin. Then what it does is it sends out to all the different social networks. I think over 48 of them every single time you create a new article. What does that do? It also generates a lot of incoming links. You also want to get involved in the blog community, meaning sites like Dig, StumbleUpon, Delicious, and Reddit. What I do is I go on these websites and I post normally 150 to 200 times other people's stuff, other websites, other articles, other information that I have found that I think is really good. I post it onto these different boards. This is other people's stuff, okay? I'm not just sitting there posting my own stuff. That's why it becomes valuable. And I also go to all 4 of these different websites and make sure that they are all aware of all the other good articles that all of their partners have, or I guess their competitors in this situation. And I have found a lot of great websites in foreign countries that I also post onto these 4 guys. So that's an example of some places you can find some good information. I also go to technorati.com and look for the blogs that have something to do with good posts that I have recently created. I look for Technorati. What it does is it ranks all the websites based off of traffic. So if you type dieting into Technorati, it's going to pop back the top dieting blogs. Well, I can then go there, go to the forum sections, look for people who are having trouble with their dieting, and then post references to articles that I have written. So it's useful. I'm not just slamming them with garbage marketing. That will also get people to come to your website. And also use YouTube. Chances are you're watching this video on YouTube. And what YouTube basically does is instead of a cold and dead website, YouTube provides people the opportunity to gravitate towards a real person. You're a real person now, not just a bunch of words. And what you also have to understand is over a third of time spent online is spent watching video. That means that people are not using the internet the way they used to. They are going on and a third of the time they are watching videos, not reading your articles. Also, less than 20% of traffic online goes to regular web pages. That means web pages do not have video. They're just a bunch of text. People are changing the way they use the internet, and if you want to draw traffic, you have to change the way that you use your websites. And I reiterate that 70% of my website traffic comes from YouTube. So how do you do a good YouTube video? Be funny or provide original information. I would not copy what I do. I know exactly what I should be doing on YouTube, but I'm not doing it because I'm unwilling to copy what other people are doing. That's really stupid, actually. If you want to be successful on YouTube, you should really just copy. Make as many videos as you can. Don't worry about the quality of those videos either. I have one client who just posted videos that they took with a telephone camera, which is terrible. But they kept posting them and posting them and posting, and they dramatically increased their website traffic just by putting these funny videos up that they took with their mobile phone. If you want to know who to copy Zay Frank. He is the king. Almost everybody on YouTube or anybody who's successful, at least to a certain extent, copies Zay Frank. And there's a link here at the bottom of the screen to a mashup that I did of some of the best things he's ever done. And of course, obviously, look at who's successful and try to emulate them. But don't emulate me. So I hope that helps. I have a ton of other things I could talk about in this video, but I'm going to try and keep it short. Hope that helps you out. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments section below. Thanks, Tracy, for the good question. And until next time.